Hey everybody, it's Hannah Fletcher, and joining me, I have the Basement Gang. I am so excited to be talking to you guys today. You guys have such positive content, and I'm so excited to learn more about who you guys are as individuals, your journey, and obviously the formation of your iconic group, which I've been watching you guys on TikTok for such a long time. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of get to know you guys better and to be able to pick your brains. So I know that you guys are friends and I know that you guys grew up with one another. Can you guys tell our audience a little bit about maybe what that friendship looked like for you guys when you were younger and how long you've been friends for, what that journey looked like, and ultimately how it kind of grew into content creation, if anybody in particular was responsible for that or if it was a mutual decision? Whoever would like to speak to it first, go for it.
Yeah, well, Kadeem and Nathaniel knew each other long before I knew them. So they grew up together in elementary school. So I would say like they knew each other for about like 14, 15 years. Later they transferred to my high school in like grade 11. So then yeah, so I knew them for probably I'd give it like 11 years. Um, how you said how our friendship looked like, it pretty much looked like how it does like on the camera, just off the camera, because we've been doing that for like a long time. Um, that's probably why we look so like comfortable on what we're doing, because like I wouldn't really see myself or dancing with anybody else like randomly except these guys. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and I think can you hear me? I'm
Mhm.
working, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the way it came about was just like Kadeem just put together a video randomly, and like we didn't know that that was gonna happen, kind of thing, and he just kind of chopped up something together. But yeah, like Nick said, like we've been friends for so long that what's coming through is just our friendship on camera instead of off camera. So
Very cool. And then do you want to add anything, Kadeem?
Oh yeah. Basically, essentially, like this is like all an accident. Like we never really planned anything, so we were just friends,
Mhm.
chilling. Do what friends do. Dancing is one of the things we did,
Mhm.
and just by this fate, we ended up just putting this together.
Definitely. Well, I really love the type of content that you guys make. I know that you're very big on obviously spreading positivity and just making people happy. What was the moment when you guys realized that having this ability to create content and to really just document being friends? When did you guys kind of was there any aha moment that clicked for you where you were like, "Oh my gosh, guys, like this is going to start to take the place of a full-time job. This is no longer just something cute and fun for us, like we're garnering an audience, like we're gaining traction, and this is something that we can really ultimately do as friends," which I feel like that's an iconic dream that so many people share. I mean, I know I used to make YouTube videos with my best friend growing up when I was super little, so I know that was something that we always aspired to have. So anybody who would like to speak to it, but any type of aha moment or anything like that where you realized, oh, this is beyond just fun and a hobby, like this is possibly a career.
Honestly, I think it's probably when we got like our first like TV interview, because we honestly didn't think like it would grow into anything so big that it would have to get like national attention for people to like see us. So I think it was when we got our first TV interview and people actually started to, let us know how great our videos are, how much like it uplifts our day. It's like something that kind of, I think that was the moment that kind of switched where it was like, maybe we could like maybe do this more than we thought we could. Because we honestly thought like maybe like a couple videos, get a couple views, like a short moment in our life, but then it ended up just growing so much bigger.
yeah, I think we all individually have our own kind of like aha moment. I think for me it was just like maybe signing our first like brand deal kind of thing, because when TikTok, like especially during the pandemic time, like a lot of TikTokers, they were saying, oh, these guys are or these people were getting all these brand deals, and I'm like, oh, that'll never happen to me, like, and then we, especially when we signed with Viral Nation, like they really showed us the potential and the worth that like what we were worth. So like I think when we signed our first kind of bigger brand deal, that was when I was like, oh, okay, so like I can finish my master's and then actually like focus on this as a full time kind of thing. So I think that was my aha moment for sure.
yeah, I would say mine would be when we got paid the first time, and how like it was much more than my actual job paycheck. Like it was just crazy to think about, like dancing for about 10 minutes could like triple the amount of working for 1 week. And on top of that, I was like sharing it with my family. And yeah, that's when I realized like, I mean, if we keep doing this and keep going strong like this, it could go like we can take it like beyond and much further.
That is so wonderful. I'm curious to ask now. I know that you just mentioned about dancing for 10 minutes, and now I love your content, and I love the factor that like you guys are using the zoom in and out. It's definitely a lot of jump cuts, a lot of different splicing. Can one of you or all three of you, however you would like to kind of explain it, or even if there is one of you that takes on more of like the editing position, but what does the process look like for choreographing and creating these videos? If you could walk me through, and I'm curious to know just from a viewer's standpoint, are you guys doing the dances over and over again, like 4 and 5 times to the entire sound or song? And then are you picking like the best moments, or do you film for 10 seconds knowing that's what you want to do and then you cut away? What does the editing process and the filming process look like for these videos?
Usually when they come over, we just chill out for like probably like 20 to 30 minutes before we dance. We're just cracking jokes, getting out the shell a little bit. And we put the camera down, like someone would play a song and then we dance to probably like the whole song. So after that, we'd probably like play it three to 4 times and just get like a good amount of dance moves in there. And then, yeah, I would say like we dance to a song 3 to 4 times, and whoever wants to like edit the video, mostly it's Kadeem. He'll just take it later on and he'll capture like the best parts of each times we danced and just kind of clip it all together.
It's basically one really long freestyle. Take the best parts of the freestyle and kind of just take it home, edit it, cut it up, sing it to the music. Yeah.
Wow. I was wondering about that. So, for example, if you guys have like, if you're looking at a week, about on average, how much are you guys maybe getting together to create the content? Are you batching it? Are you individually just saying, okay, on Monday we're going to make a video, on Tuesday we're going to make a video? What does that look like? Like more of a calendar schedule for you guys?
Yeah, it's usually like once, maybe twice a week type of vibe. There's no set schedule. It's kind of just like, because we all have our own like personal individual lives where it's somebody might be doing something on one day. So I think at the beginning of the week, we kind of just go like, okay, what day are you guys free this week? Or maybe 2 days. And, sometimes if Kadeem or Nick has like an impromptu idea and we need to get together quickly, we'll just be like, yo, is everyone good for today? And then we'll just get together. But yeah, we'll get together, probably film 2-3 hours. It's more like batch stuff. So like we filmed Saturday and we got together at like 2, filmed till about 5, got maybe 3-4 videos, and we're kind of branching into YouTube stuff too. So we'll try and get 1 YouTube video per, or do like a specific YouTube session. So it's kind of like, it's not set, it's not strict. It's very like our content is very much not strict and it's very like free flowing. So we kind of just keep it the same vibe with how we do things in the same way too.
That's really neat. I really think that that's a good idea, to be able to keep it loose. I feel like that plays a big part with being friends and having the ability to work with your friends. I'm curious to ask you guys, obviously with being friends and having been friends for such a long time, do you find that it's ever maybe sometimes difficult or even potentially easier having the ability to work with friends? I know sometimes people will hear stories of somebody being like, oh, well, we work with our family. Some days, some people don't want to create content. Some days, some people do. You have the highs and lows of that. But have you guys experienced that as a collective, or have you mostly had it pretty easy to where it's like, yeah, we'll see each other once or twice a week and there's really no qualms about it? What has that been like on the behind the scenes end for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes we kind of meet up and it's like, we don't have any ideas or plans, but like we still were, even before everything, we're still friends. So even though like we were friends before this, it kind of transitioned to us being like coworkers and business partners in a sense. But there's some days where it's like work isn't really like the priority, like, because at the end of the day, we're friends before all this, and we want to stay that way regardless. So there's definitely days where we just, just sit down, talk for like 2-3 hours, bust jokes, and not film a single thing. So it's very loose. It's very like unplanned.
That's very healthy though. And that's something that I think is very important because like you said, at the end of the day, you're friends first. And I think that as long as that continues to just stay at the forefront, that's ultimately what's going to be able to keep you guys together. Now, I know that you guys mentioned as well about kind of journeying into the realm of YouTube. And I think it's super smart, especially when you curate an audience on a platform like TikTok and transfer that audience over to YouTube. I feel like it's a very good, safe, and locking in type of decision to be able to kind of cross capitalize across the different platforms. What has that journey been like getting into the YouTube space? Is there anything that you guys have encountered or noticed that was vastly different from TikTok and from being on Instagram as well?
I'd
Yeah,
say yeah.
I think it's. Oh, go ahead, Kadeem.
Okay. No, sorry. Yeah, I say yeah. I feel like that they're very different, like social media platforms. So I guess like the content that we do on one might not relate to the other. So I just feel like that like crossing over the two has been a bit different than we thought, or like more difficult than we thought it would be. Because like it's just the people. I feel like just the people there are just very different than TikTok compared to YouTube.
Yeah, but like also like part of it is just kind of understanding your audiences, and I think that it's a learning curve. I think it has been like a different kind of transition, but it's also been like a really good learning experience. And then that's why sometimes we have those second days of making content just for YouTube, right? Like, so before we used to just kind of try and take TikTok content and then just like post it on other platforms, right? But I think now sometimes we have our YouTube days or where we make specific content that may be more long form or more like better for that platform. And as we've grown and we've learned, we've kind of seen what things perform better and like challenges and stuff like that, where we can throw those on YouTube that fan base or that like those people will like a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. It's also nice to see that we can show more of our personality on YouTube than TikTok. Mm-hmm. Because like YouTube's like mostly for like long form content. So, you don't really get to hear us speak and express like our true personalities on TikTok. So it's nice to see because we tried it for the first time, but just that transition of going to YouTube and all the people that went from TikTok to see us on YouTube, like they like our personalities like even more. And we see some comments saying that we love how you guys are like best friends and you guys remind me of like me and my friends. And yeah, that's nice.
I love that. I love that so much. I want to ask you guys, and now when I first came across your content and even kind of doing a dive into your YouTube channel as well, again, like you said, Nick, it's very easy for you to be able to like, once you use that transition to be able to open up different factors and facets about yourself and to get more personal with your audience and to, have your audience kind of transition over and fall in love with you guys in a whole different way. I'm curious to ask you guys in terms of the Basement Gang, where would you like to see yourselves in a few years from now? You guys strike me personally. I don't know if this is like any type of talks that you've had with your team or anything like that, but you guys strike me as people that would be great to go like on tour. Like I don't know if you watch like Tana Mojo and her podcast or anything like that, but like the OG, like back in the day, like Vine and YouTubers who used to go on tour and tour around and like have their audiences like meet them and everything. You guys strike me as people that would be great candidates for something like that. But do you have any particular ideas as to where you would ultimately like to see the Basement Gang grow to within the next couple of years, maybe even 5 years or so?
I think that idea is really good. I think as you say it, I can also see us kind of doing a kind of tour or something where we go around and meet our fans. And I think what makes our content special is that people feel like they can do it as well. So if we could find a way to like make people interact with us, that'd be really great. I think we've also had some like minor talks about like doing stuff on TV. We've had this like floating idea for years since we started like learning dances from around the world or like teaching families dances or something like that. Like there's a lot of ideas that we can see ourselves doing. And I think one thing that's also been like popping up lately is just like a podcast. Cause I think every time we get together and we talk and we like make these jokes with each other, it's just like, there's so much like personality. And I think that there's a lot of things that people would like to see and just hear us like chat. And I think it would be a really good thing for people to see and hear and like listen to on their way to work or on the way to school or something. So those are a few ideas that I know that we've kind of floated around and hopefully within a few years they come to fruition, I think. that would be really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. No, I would love that. I think that you guys have so much to offer and there's so many different sides of you. So it's refreshing to be able to hear you guys say the different ideas that you have for continuing later on down the road. And I think it's always a really great thing, especially with being a creator, to always be thinking of, not living in the future, but always thinking about what is the future? What else can we do? What else can we offer? What else can we expand outside of the brand? And I want to ask you guys, and you can each answer this individually. I think that this is really important, especially with, again, being unique in the fact that you guys are all friends and you've been friends for a very long time. What is a piece of advice that you would offer to people that are creating content that may not know where to start? And we'll even kind of speak more to like the dance realm here. A lot, especially TikTok started out very dance heavy. I mean, I had dance training for 15 years and I was like, I'm not touching this. Like, this isn't ballet. This is not the same exact type of dance. But like, so I feel like there's definitely a lot of people that aspire to create, but don't know where to start, maybe apprehensive. What is a piece of advice, each of you, that you would give to those creators that want to do it, but may have some reason as to why they're not moving forward in that creation journey?
I'd say to try things you probably wouldn't have done beforehand, because like I know, like you said, like you, even though you had dance experience, you wouldn't even touch the app. Like maybe just try doing like a trend. Like you may not like it or think it's something you vibe with, but if you give it a shot, it'll get you started in the direction that it might push you towards, to get into deeper content creation, and then maybe create your own ideas, create your own stuff, start your own trends and stuff you end up falling in love with in that sense.
I would say don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Because especially for us, because when you look back on like our early videos, you can see that we're kind of like, the way we move is stiff, and we're kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this, but like you could see the progress on the more we posted, the more comfortable we got in front of the camera. So yeah, just stay true to yourself. Don't be afraid to just post and get out there. Don't worry about comments, what they're talking about, because if you got negative comments, it shouldn't really matter to you. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, they kind of said like, mostly everything I would say, but I also think just don't like try and chase perfection in any way. Like I think what makes TikTok is that a lot of times you get to see people's bloopers, you get to see behind the scenes, you get to see the things that normally don't make it to post. So like if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. As long as it's content that you're happy about and that you can fully put yourself behind, I think that's what matters the most. Like as long as you're comfortable with what you're putting out and what you're doing, even if it's a dance or something that you don't think many people want to see or many people know or something like that, just putting it out there because it's what you like. I think that's what's most important.
Great pieces of advice from all three of you. Thank you for sharing that. I have one more question that I always love to ask, and this will kind of wrap us up and bring us through to the end of this interview. But I want to ask you guys, and feel free to answer individually if there's one of you that would like to speak to this, however you would like. But obviously you're signed with Viral Nation, which is a really great agency, very great company. And I've had the pleasure of interviewing many of the talent, and I think you guys are all wonderful and you're very, very well-rounded, which is so important into being a content creator. What was the moment like when you had the ability to realize that Viral Nation wanted to work with you and expedite your career to the next level? And I think even one of you mentioned earlier, I think it was you, Nate, even that like that was kind of part of an aha moment for you. But talk to me just what it's been like working with Viral Nation and having the ability to get your career taken to a whole different level.
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, it was kind of like they helped us understand what our worth was. I think we, again, when we came up, like when we started doing this, an agent was not even something like in our thought process. And then when they came to us with like, they already knew who we were. They were really personable. They had stuff for us already. Like it was a really good match. And I think, like I said before, they helped us understand what we were worth and what we bring to the table. And yeah, it's been a really good, like, I think it's been 2 years almost, or just about over 2 years now. We've been working together and we've been trying to, take things to the next level. And they've always been kind of there helping us along the way. And like I said, we're hopefully maybe kind of creeping into the TV space, and they've been, we have Paul who's been helping us with that whole journey. So hopefully we continue for many, many years. And yeah, they've been super helpful in Viral Nation.
I love that. We'll have to clip that right there, Viral Nation. I love that so much. Also, actually, I will ask you real quick because I love Paul. Paul's great. I interviewed Paul a few weeks ago. He's awesome. If there's anything that you would like to share without giving anything away or anything that you would like to tease in the realm of having been working with Paul and obviously stepping into that space, I'd love to give you the floor to be able to open that up to the best of your ability without spoiling anything that might lie ahead.
I don't think there's fully anything to spoil yet. Hopefully within the next few months there'll be something to spoil, but I do know things are in the works. We all know things are in the works. And things are moving slowly, but they are surely moving. So hopefully, when this comes out, maybe we'll have something to share. I'm not sure, but it's coming. Hopefully it's coming.
So, well, we'll be back on to be able to have that conversation when that time rolls around. Most definitely. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining. You're all so lovely and I love your content. And I just want to say thank you so much again from being a fan and being an audience member myself. I think that you guys are so inspirational and thank you for being such a positive light on social media. We need more people just like the Basement Gang. And thank you so much for your time. I look forward to speaking with you guys with more news and more further projects to be able to talk about then. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.